Hallo liebe Leute, willkommen zurück zu einer neuen Folge Greedfall. Wir sind hier noch in den schwarzen Landen unterwegs, holen uns nasse Füße und suchen Vater Justinius. Ich guck mal, heißt der wirklich so? Vater Justinius, genau. Den suchen wir. Der ist auch nicht mehr allzu weit. Dann sprechen wir mit dem und dann wird sich hier die Story bzw. die Nebenquest, in der ich hier gerade unterwegs bin, entsprechend entfalten. So richtig weiß ich da noch nicht, worum es geht. Was ist das da oben? Doch auch irgend so ein Vieh, ne? Ah, ja, geht schon los. Ui, ui. So, ich mache mir die kleineren Schläge. Kann ich dann schneller ausführen. Ich befürchte nur. Oh. Ich mal eben einen Drink nehmen hier. Okay. Vergiftung scheint nicht anzuhalten. Das ist sehr gut. Ah, diese Fledermausviecher, die können ganz schön giftig sein. Also im wahrsten Sinne des Wortes. Die sind nicht so ganz ohne, tatsächlich. Komm schon. Da bin ich einfach zu lahmarschig für, ey. Naja. So, wo sind wir denn hier gelandet? Da können wir auf jeden Fall ein Lager errichten. So. Hinten in der Ecke ist doch auch irgendwas, aber das wird wahrscheinlich... Oder? Ne, ist das hier? Nee, das ist in dem Lager da. Was ist denn da? Häuptling. Leas, da Verträge. Okay. Da kann man sich so kleinere Aufträge noch abholen, glaube ich. Aber ich würde jetzt erstmal gucken, dass ich hier den Justinius finde. Ist der hier drin? Ja. Genau, da müssen wir dann rein.
What an astounding place.
It is the village of Eden the Cardinal Mother told you about. The place where natives and priests live together. I must admit that I'm curious to see it.
All that's left to do is to find Father Justinius.
Die Nester der Yorklands. Nördlich von Eden haben äußerst angriffslustige Yorklands ein Nest gebaut. Seid vorsichtig, wenn ihr der Straße nach Nordosten folgen oder in die Büsche gehen wollt. Wer diese Nester zerstört, wird belohnt. Wir können euch auf Wunsch Fallen anbieten. Ja, könnte man sich auch noch anschauen später. Ah, da oben ist der Padre.
Welcome to Eden, the lighthouse of faith, harmony, and civilization in these wild lands.
Thank you. Desade. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation.
And I am Father Justinius. Delighted. And what may I do for you?
Ihn zu den gestohlenen Tafeln
The Mother
befragen, ja.
Cardinal has asked me to investigate the theft of these tablets you discovered.
That's excellent news. The loss of the tablets is a catastrophe. We have to find them at all costs. If you want to learn more about these tablets, you should go ask Sister Eugenia. She supervises the theologians who discovered them, and were also guarding them. You should find her a bit further in the village, with her colleagues.
Who are the suspects of this theft?
The heretical brutes of the village of Vedlug most likely had a hand in this. They must have wanted to please the demons they worship by stealing the holy word from us.
How could they have learned of the tablet's existence?
Perhaps the demons are giving them this power. Unless one of the natives living in the village innocently mentioned them. They are so naive. Either way, I am certain that the heretics are involved in this matter.
I must leave you. Goodbye.
May the enlightened always keep you in their divine blessing.
I wonder what really happened when the missionaries came to settle here.
It all seems a bit too convenient. If we find out some information about the history of Eden, maybe we'll change our view on things. The theft of the relic is probably not a coincidence.
Schön, dass wir das alles hier vor dem Questgeber besprechen. Weiß ich gar nicht, ob der das alles mitkriegen sollte. Erfahre mehr über die Geschichte Edens. Ist das jetzt noch eine... Warte mal. Ich glaube, dazu muss ich den einfach nochmal anquatschen.
I'm glad to see you, my child. What can I do for you?
Nachfragen bezüglich der Entstehung des Dorfes
Tell me
eben.
about how you created this village.
We did not create it from the ground up. It was built around an existing native village. The islanders called it Vixenagad, which translates to the village of the old sage. We saw it as a sign. The natives had probably chosen this name in memory of Saint Matthias, and everything here fit the description of Saint Lucius. The discovery of the tablets proved us right. So, we decided to rebuild our Eden here, in the spirit of peace and harmony which is described in the scriptures.
Why share this village with the natives?
To replicate and resume the work of our founder, of course. If he came here and managed to convert the natives, then it is our duty to do the same thing. By living side by side with them, it is much easier for us to pass on our teachings.
How well do you get along with the natives who live here?
Very well, of course. Especially since those who opposed our presence left.
Left? To go where?
Oh, to other villages, I imagine. Does it even matter? Those who stayed are on the path of enlightenment. Some of their legends must have been about Saint Matthias. That helped to convince them.
And how well have neighboring villages welcomed you?
With some reluctance, to be perfectly honest. So, we sent them missionaries. There are still frequent conflicts with the village of Vedlug, a highly violent village of heretics. But the other villages, the more peaceful ones, are slowly starting to listen to the sacred word.
There is something strange here.
It often takes time for the people of the continent to get used to our paradise, but I am sure you will come to appreciate it.
Okay, mehr können wir nicht erfragen.
Goodbye.
May the enlightened always keep you in their divine blessing.
Erfahre mehr über die Geschichte Edens. Was haben wir da als Aufgabe? Ah, aber hier der Marker ist weg, okay. Da bei Bruder Virgil können wir wohl noch mehr erfahren. Den kriegen wir gerade nicht ausgewählt. Dann gehen wir mal da runter. Wo hier durch? Nö. Da unten steht er irgendwo. Das ist der und das ist der, bei dem wir mehr über die Geschichte
I'm busy. If you have questions,
okay.
go see Sister Eugenia. She's our supervisor.
Okay, er will nicht. Wahrscheinlich müssen wir erstmal mit ihr quatschen hier.
Hello. The Mother Cardinal asked me to help you find the tablets that were stolen. Can I ask you some questions?
Of course. But hurry, I have a lot to do.
I talked to Father Justinius. He told me that you were supervising the theologians here.
Indeed. It is under my supervision that the research on Saint Matthias is conducted.
Where were the tablets the night they were stolen?
We were keeping them in one of the village's shacks. We intended to bring them to San Matthias later. But first, we wanted to examine them in order to obtain as much information as possible. You can go and take a look in the shack if you want to. but I couldn't find any traces of forced entry.
I imagine someone was keeping watch over them.
Of course, we took turns guarding the shack. But some of us can't have taken the task that seriously. If I remember correctly, it was Brother Virgil who was guarding them that night.
Whom do you suspect of being the thief?
Alas, I'm afraid there are many suspects. These tablets are priceless relics. Some settlers may have fallen prey to the lure of profit. The heretical natives of Vedlug may have wanted to take them away from us, or it could have been vengeance by those who had to leave the village.
Well, thank you for these pieces of information.
I am the one who should be thanking you. Especially if you managed to retrieve the tablets for us.
The Mother Cardinal told me that this village had been developed on the basis of St. Lucius's writings. Are you one of the theologians who helped in its creation?
Yes. I was sent here to confirm that this place is indeed the one described in the writings, and then I stayed.
What was the reaction of the natives when you arrived here?
Most of them were not in favor of us living amongst them. They were afraid we might chase them out of their own village. And there were even more protests once we started talking about searching for traces of Saint Matthias. I suppose they thought we would destroy all of their raised stones and other places of superstition.
Were there any confrontations with the natives?
Yes. The warriors of the village attacked us. The Ordo Luminous actually had to intervene. The Inquisition managed to make them run away. The islanders tried to attack again with the support of Vedlug, but we stood our ground. And when Lur, the chief of the village, finally accepted our presence, things calmed down.
Thank you. This information will certainly prove to be useful. Thank you. I will let you work.
Okay. Ich mutmaße mal, dass wir ihn jetzt anquatschen können. Oder sogar sollen. Ja. Ja, es ist jetzt halt ein Dialog nach dem anderen, ne?
Greetings.
Das gehört halt hier dazu.
Investigation into the theft of the tablets. Sister Eugenia told me to talk to you.
I'm Brother Virgil. What would you like to know?
According to your colleague, you were the one in charge of guarding the tablets on the night of the theft. Is that right?
Indeed.
What can you tell me about that night? Did you hear or see anything?
No, nothing in particular. The night was quiet, and then the morning after, we saw they were gone.
Someone had to enter the shack to steal the tablets. How did that happen?
I have no idea. The door was closed in the morning, and the lock was intact.
Do you suspect anyone in particular?
Not really.
Wer ist sus? Wer
What I
ist
can
sus?
tell you for sure is it is not one of us.
Well, Sister Eugenia did tell me that the tablets were priceless.
Of course. But our motivation is not the lure of profit. All that matters to us is their value as proof, not the money we could make out of them.
Do you think the culprit could be a native?
Well, since none of us did it, it seems obvious. There aren't many other settlers around here. And the natives knew of the existence of these tablets before we found them. They were attached to them too, in their own way.
They are the ones who led you to them.
Well, we conducted the research, but they helped us find where they were hidden. Some inhabitants of the village are still giving us a hand with our work.
Well, thank you. I will investigate where the theft took place.
As you wish. But you won't find anything there. And why does it matter, anyway? There were witnesses to the discovery of these tablets. We have all the proof we need. And that's all that matters.
What do you mean?
Now we can prove Saint Matthias lived here. Our actions on this island are justified. To keep rummaging the way Sister Eugenia does will only create more tensions with the natives.
I was not expecting a theologian to say such things.
Ich glaube, ich habe jetzt langsam genug rausgefunden, oder? Ah, Gott, ey.
Hello, brother.
Weil ich ihm diese eine letzte Frage nicht gestellt habe, oder
Do you
was?
need anything?
Ihn zu seiner Ankunft in Eden
Have you been in
befragen.
Eden for a long time?
2 months, approximately. Back then, there were still some pagan natives in the village. I joined Sister Eugenia's team with some of my colleagues. So
Ja,
we
ich
could
muss
give them
sagen,
a
für meinen Geschmack
fresh
ein bisschen
outlook on
viel
things. We
Gequake
arrived
immer.
straight from Taichi,
Eine
hoping to study
Dialogsequenz
some new
nach
texts.
der
But
anderen.
once we were here, I understood that my real mission
So eine gesunde Mischung wäre ja cool,
must bring the light to this island.
aber das hier finde ich irgendwie ein bisschen viel, ey.
How are your relations with the natives?
Und es geht immer weiter.
We were still trying to obtain information from them about Saint Matthias, but they were very reluctant to give us any answers. We were also trying to educate.
Ich persönlich fände es auch cooler, wenn es eine deutsche Synchronisierung gäbe, muss ich wirklich sagen. Ist nicht so, dass ich kein Englisch verstehen würde oder so, aber ist jetzt auch nicht die Alltagssprache. Ich lese immer unten mit. Das ist schon so ein bisschen anstrengend. Da wäre es echt entspannter, wenn es da deutsche Synchronsprecher geben würde.
Of course. I will leave you to your work. Goodbye.
So, haben wir es dann. Okay, dann müssen wir zum Wohnsitz des Häuptlings. Da erfahren wir dann noch mehr über den ganzen Eden-Kram hier. Eieiei, ach nee, das ist da unten. Also im Grunde gucken wir uns hier einen Film an und zwischendurch laufen wir mal von Hütte zu Hütte. Das ist das, was hier gerade passiert. Das ist natürlich, naja. Wie gesagt, die Mischung, die würde es echt machen hier. Bisschen weniger Film und ein bisschen mehr Spiel wäre schon irgendwie cool. Okay, dann beklauen wir den noch eben hier vor seinen Augen. Easy. Da drüben ist auch noch was. Nennen wir es Gastgeschenk, nur umgekehrt. Es bringt nicht der Gast, sondern er nimmt es sich. Oh, was ist das? Fährtenlaser-Tunika. Na. Kann ich was zum Verkaufen.
Hello. I am Lair, the
Hello.
village leader. Well, I was the leader of this village.
Hello. Desarde. I am the legate of the merchant congregation.
There are Onol Manawi among the Logaed Blau. I did not know that. What do you want from me?
I've heard a lot of things about this village of Eden, but I'd like to hear your version.
I'm not sure I have the answers to all of your questions, but I'll try.
Tell me about the arrival of the people of Theleme, and how you received them.
The priests were roaming around the village. They were saying that it was the place where their saint had lived. They were asking questions, talking about the Lloyd and all these things. One morning they were building houses next to ours. And we had new neighbors.
The priests told me that they had managed to convert you. How did that happen?
As long as we refused to listen to them, they were violent, and they destroyed some of our sanctuaries. So we let them talk. And now that they think that we love their god, they leave us alone. Some of the things they say are beautiful, and their magic is impressive. But we do not forget our spirits.
One of the theologians told me that you had helped them in their research.
They wanted to find tracks of the old sage, of the one they call Saint Matthias, and they were rummaging through everything. Our Donegad did not want to tell them anything, because the old sage is sacred here. But since they violently interrogated everyone, I thought it wise to guide them to the place where the stones were.
What happened to your warriors? Why did they have to leave the village?
They did not accept the presence of the priests and their questions. They tried to retake the village. They even asked Deirdre, the chief of Vedlug, for her help. So, the priests called the Soul Lasser, the Burning Suns, and they killed many of them. I asked for peace, and the others left us. They wanted to join Vedlug. Perhaps they have done so.
Aren't you angry after all that happened?
No. I mourn those who died, of course, and the Vorstyrent. But this village may be our opportunity.
Your opportunity for what?
For the Renaigse to understand who we are. Not savages, nor monsters, but men, perhaps wiser than they are.
I have to go.
Like so many others.
I knew that the story would be more complex than we'd been told.
I find it regrettable that my colleagues aren't more honest when it comes to history. Nothing solid has ever been built on lies.
Either way, the resentment here is strong enough for a theft to occur.
Okay, auf zur nächsten Filmsequenz. Im Büro der Missionare, okay. So, mal schauen, wer uns hier jetzt ein Kotelett ans Ohr labert. Hier müssen wir jetzt untersuchen, sehr schön.
There is only one entrance and the door shows no evidence of a break-in.
Can't believe it. This brother Virgil was unforgivably neglectful. Idiot must have fallen asleep and then our thieves only had to take the keys from him.
It's very likely that that's what happened, but someone must have informed them. It can't be a coincidence that they decided to steal it during the watch of the only neglectful guard.
It has to be someone in the village. If we find them, there's a chance we can retrieve the relics.
We know that this theft could be an act of vengeance by the natives who were forced to leave here. They must still have allies in the village, family or friends. We should go talk to the chief of the natives. He will certainly know who is close to the exiles, and enough about the researchers to inform them.
Mal eben schauen, ob es hier noch irgendwas Interessantes gibt. Ne, scheinbar nicht. Boah, echt jetzt wieder da hoch und dann wieder mit Lea sprechen.
You have returned on Almanawi. Do you need something else?
I think I know who stole the tablets.
Really?
I believe those who were exiled from your village seek vengeance because the missionaries forced them to leave. They must have taken the tablets with the help of someone else who stayed here.
You may be right, but you may also be wrong.
Rang. Charisma, 50-50 Chance. Ich versuch mal mein Glück.
You do well to tell me what you know. Once the priests have reached the same conclusions as I have, how do you think they will interrogate you?
I do not think they will hurt us.
Fehlgeschlagen,
They
schade.
want peace too, and violence would break it all.
I understand why you are no longer the chief, if you do not even know what the inhabitants of your village are doing.
You're right. I was indeed a bad chief. I couldn't even convince those who left to stay.
Since you do not want to talk, I will have to tell the Mother Cardinal to send the Ordo Luminous. The Inquisitors will make you confess the name of the person who helped the exiles.
I think the name of the woman you are looking for is Vindwal. She helps
Okay,
the
jetzt hat der Ruf gelitten,
priests
schade.
who seek the old sage.
If she's helping the priests, why would she betray them now?
Her son is one of the warriors who had to leave the village. He is filled with anger and fury. If you go talk to her, please, do not hurt her. She is but a mother who acted according to her son's wishes.
I have no intention of hurting her, but things may not be so simple when it comes to her son. I have to go.
Like so many others.
Okay. Wir haben eine heiße Spur und sprechen jetzt mit Windball. Das scheint diese Mutter zu sein. Die Mutter. Und dann kommen wir hoffentlich irgendwann aus dieser Dauerschleife aus Zwischensequenzen raus und machen irgendwas Cooleres. Aber nicht mehr in dieser Folge, denn die hat ihr zeitliches Ende gesegnet. Mit der Detektivarbeit geht es dann in der nächsten Folge weiter. Wenn ihr mitermitteln wollt, dann seid gerne wieder mit von der Partie. Für heute sage ich wie üblich danke fürs Zuschauen, bleibt gesund und bis zum nächsten Mal, Leute.